President Trump expected to declassify documents related to Carter Page and Bruce Ohr, according to a new report by Axios. The documents relate to surveillance of the former campaign advisor and to Justice Department official Bruce Ohr's contacts with Christopher Steele, the former British intelligence agent who put together a dossier on then-candidate Trump. House Republicans have been arguing for months that the documents prove anti-Trump bias within the DOJ. Here is House Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte.
Well, we're digging them out one at a time, and we're making a lot of progress. We did not waste the August recess. We interviewed a number of key witnesses, including Bruce Ohr, and now we are proceeding to get additional documents from the FBI and line up additional witnesses.
Chairman Goodlatte also renewing calls for a second special counsel to investigate the FBI's handling of Hillary Clinton's emails and the investigation into the Trump campaign. Chris, I would say in this case, it all comes down to follow the money. You know, the money comes from the DNC or the Clinton campaign. It goes to Fusion GPS and then into the bank account of Bruce and Nellie Ohr in order to create a document which then Bruce Ohr carries back to the FBI. No matter what happens to it from there, all of that is not good.
No, it's not. It's paid for opposition research on a sitting U.S. president being taken seriously as a reason to surveil
he wasn't a sitting
Americans.
U.S. president.
He
was a candidate.
You're right.
Yeah.
To surveil Americans.
It doesn't
and then
make it any better, I don't think.
It certainly causes them a lot of trouble.
It's incredibly different when you talk about opposition research that happens during campaigns. I think that
when you're
distinction does matter.
In DOJ investigation.
I think when you're talking about an FBI official getting paid through the bank account of his wife by the Democrats in order to create this fake dossier and then him taking it back inside the FBI. I mean, Kennedy, if that was then used to surveil anyone, I mean, it doesn't even matter who we're talking about here. That's really egregious.
Yeah, and this cannot be how these systems operate. You know, and I understand there are marriages in D.C. where, you know, you have one person who works for a civilian organization, the other who works for the government. But the point is, when it can affect the outcome of a presidential campaign, or if it can create a constitutional crisis, as this certainly still has the ability to, then you absolutely need to disclose in formal documentation who you've interviewed, who you're married to, what you've talked about, and, you know, what is the connection between Christopher Steele. There may be something in this dossier that's legitimate. There's a lot that is illegitimate. But this is a person who had so much anti-Trump passion. He hated the president so much.
But you can't just say it's about marriages, because we know
I'm not saying it's about marriages. I'm saying there are marriages that's a given, but there has to be disclosure. And that's one of the problems here is Bruce Ohr did not disclose.
It's more than disclosure, though, because it's like my husband's in finance. If I go on the Business Channel and I talk about and pump up some stock or something that's going to benefit him, that's benefiting me because we're married and we have joint assets.
Which is why you have to disclose
it's more serious than just sharing information when you profit as a result.
It's corruption.
That's a bigger
But the system was set up to bolster that sort of information sharing to make people's lives difficult so they have almost no recourse. And that's what we're seeing here. And I'm still surprised that Bruce Ohr has a job.
So a lot of questions kind of bubble up. One would be, doesn't that already exist? And did Bruce Ohr, break the rules by not disclosing? I mean, I can't believe, I mean, you have to do that at a corporation.
Yep.
As Melissa just said, you've got to put all your cards on the table at a corporation. You don't have to do that at the FBI. The other thing that sort of, like, just makes my brain itch is the fact that if this is what they do to somebody with some power, someone wanting to be the president of the United States, and with some finances, how is the FBI as a whole then treating others around these issues of conflicts of interest and so on and so forth? It just makes me ask the question of, if there is no rule in place and he didn't break it, we got a bigger problem.
Here's the cool thing we're about to get right here is actually primary documents. So much of what's been given out so far to the public has been what the Republicans think this says or what the Democrats think this says. We've had to draw our own conclusions and play detective. Now we're going to get some primary documents here if these are declassified, and that'll be a goldmine for reporters.
But we've been saying that for months, and I think that's an important point. And people have been saying just put it out there, even on both sides of the aisle. The risk now is if classified information is going to be released because of this, and we do need to protect national security first and foremost.
Trust the president
Dog
and
and
his
Pony Show, that
team?
song and dance that we have to protect sources and methods has become a shield of opacity that all of these institutions
Kennedy is
conveniently use. We need transparency. We need to
and
know.
if the president is
we
moving
need
to
stop
declassify, can't we trust him and his team to know what they're doing? I mean, come on.
Yes, I mean, I would hope so. We
Yes,
have also,
the answer is yes.
Okay, then yes, I agree, and I am totally with you on the disclosure front here. I don't think that we can move to a world in which people are penalized professionally because of who they're married to, right?
Sorry,
That
talking about not
unless
taking
there's
money
confused
from
about
the
classification.
Democrats for
First, you want the
documents that
president
are
to
gonna
release,
funnel
then
back
you
to
don't.
the FBI.
You gotta. Wow.
But if you're profiting off that marriage in order
I don't
to
think-
bring someone down who would be an impediment to your agenda, yes, that's problematic. That has nothing to do with the marriage. That has everything to do with corruption and compromise.
That is what has happened.
Which is why
here.
we have to release the evidence.
I'm not fighting with you
That's
about
why
that.
we have to
I'm
release
saying
the
that we
evidence.
should release it. I'm saying it is normal for us to be concerned about the release of classified information.
With
I have
anything,
been
but not
supportive of it
particularly.
being released for months
We gotta
now.
go.
The president is only doing it today when he's had this option forever.